All right, hey guys. So I've been getting a lot of requests. I thank everybody for your requests coming in for lessons to teach. One of the requests was to teach multiplying multi-digit numbers using some of the new methods. So today I'm going to show you how to multiply multi-digit numbers using the square area model. And personally, I would like to say that I'm loving the new ways of multiplying and dividing because it answers the question why we do things. And to understand how we multiply, how we divide, why we add, why we subtract, do the things that we do, Common Core looks at base 10. It makes everything much easier when you understand the why behind why we're doing things. So just a quick review. I have an example problem up here. And with base 10, understanding base 10, is making sure that we understand our base 10 of our place value. So if I'm looking at this, if I'm teaching my students how to multiply multi-digit numbers, the first thing we do is we break our numbers down into our place value. So if I go ahead and I look here, I would know that this column here represents my ones, and this column here represents my tens. Okay, well, I see that I'm multiplying 23 times 18. So just looking at those two digits, I see that I have a 2 by 2 digit that I'm multiplying. So that means my area square model has to be a 2 by 2 square. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to draw my square. And I have to make it 2 by 2. So I'm going to have 2 by 2. Now, I'm going to take my first number, which is 23. My 2 is in my tens place value. So if I have two tens, that's the same as saying 2 times 10, which gives me 20. And then I have 3 ones, which is the same as saying 3 times 1, which is 3. Because 20 plus 3 equals 23. It makes it a lot easier when you start multiplying because you're always going to multiply by the base 10, which means most of your numbers are going to end in 0 or they'll be single digit, which makes it easier to multiply throughout the problem. Now I'm going to break down my second digit, which is 18. So I have my 1, which is in the tens place. 1 times 10 is 10. And 8 in my ones place, 8 times 1 is, you got it, 8. So 10 plus 8 equals 18. 10 plus 8 equals 18 because I have a 10 and 8 ones, which gives me 18. Now comes to the multiplication part. So all I'm going to do in my area square model is I'm going to multiply each number. And if I were doing it the old-fashioned way, I would multiply my number first. 23, I'll be multiplying it by 8 first, which means I'll be multiplying in my ones first. No different here in the square. It just looks different. So this makes it easier to multiply. So I'm going 10 times 20. Whereas I tell my kids, I try to do a breakdown of letting them understand how we multiply by zeros. I would do 1 times 2, which is 2. How many zeros do I have with 10 and 20? I see that I have 2 zeros. So that means I have to add 2 zeros. So 10 times 20 gives me 200. Now I'm going to multiply by 3. So 1 times 3 is 3. How many zeros do I have in between 10 and 3? I have 1 0, which is why 10 times 3 equals 30. Now I'm going to multiply the top number and the bottom numbers. So I have 20 times 8, or 8 times 2, which is 16. How many zeros do I have between 20 and 8? I have 1 0, so I add 1 0. So 20 times 8 is 160. Then I have 8 times 3, 24. Well, we all know that multiplication is a quick way to add. So now, at the end, if we had to work this through, we would have added a 0 and done a whole bunch of other things, and we would have added at the end. Same thing goes here. We take the numbers that we have in the box, and we add them up. So I have 200 160, I like to put them in order from greatest to least so I can make sure I'm numbering up my numbers correctly. 30, 24. And now I'm going to add those numbers together. So 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 4 is 4. 6 plus 3 is 9. Plus 2 is 11. I put my 1. Carry my 1. 2 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. So my answer is 416. Now if I were doing it the old-fashioned way, which is, yes, I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way for all of those who remember the old-fashioned way to do it. So 3 times 8, 24, carry my 2. 2 times 8, 16, plus 2 is 18. Now I would have started multiplying by my 10, so I would have used a place value holder. 3 times 1 is 3, and 2 times 1 is 2. Add those numbers up. I wrote the wrong number. It was a 4. And those answers match. Same difference. Multiplied, and I got the same answer as multiplying and adding. To me, this just looks easier sometimes for our kids because we have to let them understand the importance of base 10, the basics of numbers. Do one more problem, and then that'll be our multiplication lesson for today. So if I had 33 times 27, first thing I'm going to notice is that I have a 2 by 2 digit number multiplying. So that means my area model should be a 2 by 2 area model. I'm going to break down 33. So 3 10s equals 30. 3 1s equals 3. Breaking down 27, going on the side. 2 10s equals 20. 7 1s equals 7. Now let's multiply. 2 times 3 equals 6. How many zeros do I have? 1, 2. So 30 times 20 equals 600. 2 times 3 is 6. How many zeros do I have between those two numbers? 1. So 20 times 3 equals 60. 7 times 3 equals 21. I have 1 0, so 30 times 7 equals 210. 7 times 3, 21. Now I'm going to add those numbers. 600, 210, 60, 21. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1 is 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. Plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 2 is 9. 6 plus 2 is 8. So my answer would be 891. Any questions? You can always email me or add in a comment under the video. If you know how to get in touch with me, you can email me as well or Facebook Messenger me if you have any other questions about multiplying multi-digit numbers using the square area model. It is your friend, guys. It's Learning Base 10. Have an awesome day. See you later.